Good evening, it's Monday night, so it is the ILFL Soccer Night Show, here to you live from our East London studios. Good evening, you've got David Joseph online to you, and to my left, assisting me with all the punditry and all the comment on yesterday's action, I have Shakil Mir in the studio with me to my left. To my right, I have our special guests for the evening. They are the Workhouse Vets, who have come in this evening to talk about their exploits in the Veterans League, who they are and what they've come to do. We'll hear from them throughout the show. But first, what I want to do is I want to get to the results from yesterday. And before I go through those results, I just want to speak to you, Shaks. We were on the show last week, and we were talking about it being first game of the season, all the expectations, what we expect of the teams in the Prem and the First Division. And as always, Shaks, you made one or two quite bold predictions. Before I go through to results, who are you expecting really to shine in the Premier Division?
Well, Tigers are the obvious ones. Bromley have to bounce back from a poor season last season. Well, last season they were really bad. They have to pick themselves up this year. But you know, Stepney Green, they look strong. They always look strong in the first part of the season, but it's just the ending part. They always have the ups and downs. So I see Stepney, London Tigers, Bromley, the usual. The
usual suspects. Did the usual suspects deliver yesterday? Can we see the results on the screen here for you now? Here are the screen is not ready. I'm going to run it through by you anyway. There were some huge results, so I'm going to run through them one by one. Beaumont went down by 2-1 to Robin Hood Tigers. Good result for Robin Hood.
Yeah, very good result. That's a big upset. I was expecting Beaumont to win that game, but Tigers did well for them, 2-1.
They did indeed. I can show you the rest of the results here on the screen for you right now, I do believe. Can you see them now? Yes, you can. There they are. Hawk and Eagle, 2 weeks in, 2 depressing results. They went down 6-0 to a very impressive Ace team who looked like being dark horses in the Premier Division. Look at that, London Tigers and Reach Out, our champions and runners-up from last season. Was it a close game? No, it was not, because Reach Out beat them by 6-2, and that, in anyone's language, is a thrashing. And Stepney, 2 games in, and another mauling of a side. St Catherine's would not have expected that. We wouldn't have expected it. 7-1 beating Stepney, beating St Catherine's. I don't think we would have sat there and expected that sort of result last week.
No, look, Stepney is not really. They didn't really have a test yet. To be honest with you, 2 weeks, 2 easy games. They expected to win the games. Tigers, I'm not surprised with the result, to be honest with you.
Really?
No, I'm not, because Tigers are always slow starters. Last season, they did the same thing. They started slow and they finished stronger, and that's what they always do. I think it's a tradition for them.
So looking at the Ace and the Hawk and Eagle game, great result for Ace, and they need a good start in order to maintain something in the Premier Division.
Yes, last week Ace didn't play, Hawk and Eagle did. Now, I thought that Hawk and Eagle did have to come back strong if they were to beat Ace, and they didn't. Ace did have a cup game last week, Monday, and they didn't do that well. So I think they had ethos, they had a point to prove themselves, and what way to prove themselves? By beating Hawk and Eagle 6-0.
Do you know what? I have to say, at this early stage of the season, things look ominous for Hawk and Eagle, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, it's very dull, isn't it? There's no. But I'm sure they will come stronger. And look, some people start strong and finish weak, but some people start weak and finish strong. So, hoping there's some light in
Hawk and Eagle, let's hope that's you, because you really need to get some goals in the net and points on the board. Into the First Division. Here are the results from the First Division games played yesterday. Bow and PYO played out a 1-1 draw. Better result for Bow and still unbeaten for PYO. Esprit have a 1-0 victory against Arsenal. Great result for them, new team into the league. Redcoat and Burdett, a 2-2 draw for the two of them. Maybe one will be more happier than the other. And Soul Youth, this is what they wanted. After what they would have seen as a shock defeat last week to PYO, they bounced back with a 2-0 win over Stepney B. And it's all very even in the First Division, isn't it? There's no real favourites in that division. This one could go right down to the wire.
You're absolutely right. I did say last week that Seoul FC do have to. I think this year would be the one to nothing. They won't want nothing but promotion, and I think they will. I think they're the favourites. Second, you can call it anyone really. To be honest with you.
You can indeed. Do you know what? Everybody likes to see if they're top of the table, bottom of the table, even after they've played one game. So just for the fun of it, let's have a look. Here's your Premier Division tables for those 9 teams there in the Premier Division. And like we said, there are 4 teams in that division without a win, but Hawk and Eagle will be the ones who are looking over their shoulders, well, looking above themselves, really, because 12 goals conceded in 2 games, no goals scored. They really will need to bounce back. I wonder who their next opponents are going to be. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But Stepney will be loving that. 13 goals, 1 conceded, 6 points on the board. Great start for them. In the first division, like we said, look at that. We've got 7 teams separated by a point, nothing in it. Early days, lots of games to be played in that division, and lots for us still to talk about week by week. We'll look at the fixtures to come a little later. But I'm going to turn very quickly now to our guests in the studio, Workhouse Vets. They are a new side that entered into the Veterans League, playing on a Thursday at Mabley Green. They're in the 2nd division, but by all accounts for everybody who's come up here, they won't be there too long. We have Hassan and Hamza in the studio. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Guys, even the way you sit is very confident. I mean, the way you play is very confident. People in and around have watched and said they like the way Workhouse Vets play. Tell us how you're approaching it.
Well, obviously we're here, you know, we've come as a team. The history behind Workhouse is that we've been playing at Workhouse, which is next door to Poplar College, and we've been playing there for about, some have been playing there for 20 years, some have been playing 5 years like myself. And we've been playing good football there, and we've got some of the senior teams involved as well, because we've got a connection with the senior teams. So we've got teams such as Beaumont, Bromley, Newark, players from all different teams, and what we did was initially combined a football session together.
Right.
And, you know, we got players like Abdul Hamid from Bromley by Bow, Hanif, Oli, Dipon, and then we had players such as from Beaumont, Polash, Tanjim, Arif, Shiplu, and then we've got players from outside, which is like players like Gulzar, Shanor, they play for different teams as well. And we had some players around us that were quite good. For example, Monsor, Koz, these were players that play but not in a team. So we started this session on a Tuesday at Poplar Workhouse. As we got better, we thought, we heard a lot about the league, so we thought, why not see how the league is? So we really wanted to get a team in, but apparently we were a bit late, so we joined another team. So we joined the team, you know, we appreciated the chance to play in the league, to get a taster of the league. And once we started playing for them, you know, we were getting good results, we were doing well. But then there was some internal politics within the team. And, you know, players who were playing on the pitch, they weren't coming training, and, you know, people that knew each other were playing the game. And some of the good players had to sit on the bench. So that's when we decided that, you know what, we will get a team together. We will form a team where we won't have the internal politics. We got a committee together. We thought, yep, we will write things down so we don't go back on our word. And then we started, that was the born of Workhouse.
So when you went into the first game, look back at that first game there, you played in the league, you had players who had played in the league, you knew what it was all about, so you went into it with a little bit of confidence, really.
Absolutely, because we play together, we know each other so well, we connect. You know, what makes us different from, you know, what I would say from the other teams is the fact that we don't treat it like a football team, we treat it like a family, we're a unit. And what do families do? Support each other. And that's how we support each other. We've got our defense, Hamza, Ali Bey. We've got a goalkeeper, Gary, Ghost. These are keepers that will do anything to save that goal. We've got the defenders that will put themselves on the line. We've got midfielders, Abdus, Sabor, Jewel, you know, myself. We would do anything. We've got Cash, Some. These are players that would give their heart out for Workhouse. And then we've got our deadly striker up front, William. What can I say about him? You know, he loves the team. And the connection that we have, we're a family out of choice.
So it's a great message that you're putting out there. I mean, I know we have lots of people come up here, and everyone, you know, comes up here and talks about the unit and the unity amongst themselves. But you guys really believe it, don't you? And you really believe that you can go really far in this division.
Absolutely, because what it is, when we play, we don't depend on a superstar. We don't have an individual superstar. We are a unit, and every single player plays a part in it. And that is what is behind our success, is the fact that we're a unit, we're a family.
Here they are, at the Workhouse Vets family. You're going to hear a little bit more from them, and I'm no doubt you'll be seeing a lot more of them each and every Thursday. I think some of you Vets teams need to watch out. We'll be talking about the Veterans League in the next section of the show. We'll be talking to these boys a little bit more as well, and I'll be talking to Shax about upcoming fixtures this week. That's coming up after this short break. You're here live on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. We'll be back.